Alright, welcome back everyone. In this episode we're going to do a bike seat. It's for Harley Davidson, belongs to a gentleman that manages the O'Reillys in Circleville. That's where I get all my parts at for when I work on cars. So, but anyhow, I'm gonna, let me put this camera down a little bit so I can show you guys. Okay, so there's a bunch of little staples, as you can see, throughout that whole seat on both of them. So I got a little staple remover thing here. It takes forever. It's a pain in the butt, but I'm going to go ahead and pull all these out off camera. I just wanted to show you guys what's going on and what I'll be doing. I'm sure you guys don't want to watch that, but you got to do like that. And any one of them that didn't fully pull out, I got to pull out with some side cuts. So let me do that real quick, and I'll bring you back here shortly. Okay, after about 20 minutes or so, now that I got the staples off of the material, we got to peel the cover off, literally. And now you get poked by the staples that are still sticking through there. This is the least fun part about doing a bike seat, or this is why I don't like, ouch, doing too many boat seats. They're just, all the staple stuff really sucks. Oh, I forgot a couple here.
Smash like.
Yeah, it's like, and then I'll show you what I got to do after this. All right, so there's that cover. And this one, I think we can maybe try to pull it this way. Well, this one I gotta take the bracket off still yet. So anyways, now I get to go through and pull all the staples out.
Yeah! Oh boy, it was fun.
Because you don't want them there when you're putting a new cover on, or else you can hit it into one and it won't staple good, and your cover ain't all the way good. So I'm gonna do that, get this bracket off, and then we'll proceed to the next step. Give me a few. Okay, we got them all out. We got them all cleaned out from the plastic, as you can see. Another probably 15 minutes or so. I'm just kind of giving you guys a time frame on how long it does take to take them things out, because they suck. But you got to clean them all out. I mean, you don't want whoever's lifting that seat up to get to their battery under the seat or something and then poke yourself with an old staple, you know.
Son of a...
But not only that, but it does mess with the when I'm going to be putting the cover back on, not being able to staple in the correct place. So anyways, those are out. We got them all pulled out, the leftover ones that were in the material. So now the fun is we go through. I usually flip this inside out, either way, but sometimes I mess with both ways. But I'll flip this around. I'm gonna have to fill my steamer up too so we can steam these and get some nice patterns. But I'm gonna change a couple things on these too. We'll get to that in a little bit. So anyways, you wanna get in there and start somewhere and start cutting the stitches, get them going. I might have to get an X-Acto. Sometimes they work better. Yeah, let me go grab one of those real quick. All right, I got the steamer preheating while we're doing this. I'm gonna just start some of these just to show you guys once again. This is gonna take a minute, but basically you wanna go through and get them going. Once you start and get you an opening, you can start getting it out of there. Try to let you guys see a little bit here. Basically we'll go around and do all that, and then once we get it all of our threads out and the stuff separated, we'll steam it so we can have some nice flat patterns. Because I'll probably use some of these. I'm not sure yet, because I'm going to add a little bit of foam in the tops for them. I'm just going to put some of the soap foam in there, give them a little extra padding. So yeah, you see what's going on here. So I'm going to finish this up on both of them. We'll let the steamers going, and then give me about probably 15-20 minutes by the time that thing starts steaming, and I'll get right back to you guys. Just about there. I think that steamer's almost there. But anyways, you gotta have, they say upholsterers, they have to have strong hands.
I better use my strong hand.
And that you do. I mean, and my hands are just sore anymore from pulling and pushing, but you gotta have, there it goes. So anyhow, there's the back one. This is all the back stuff. Steamer's going. Let's see if it's about ready here. So what we want to do, try to steam these out a little bit, get them as flat as we can. This one probably won't because it's so stretched, but we'll try to get it some close. Because as I stretch the new one, you'll have to probably play with this when I make the pattern. It's just so brittle, old and brittle. That might be good enough on that one. I'll have to work with it as that's very hot on there. We'll try to keep it like that. Sometimes if you let it sit that way, it'll bring itself back. These, we need to get the thread out of them. This steamer is so, I mean, it's lifting my, it'll lift my glue off of my white top here. I gotta be careful. As long as they're close, well, you can see how it's flattening them out quick. It don't play. Yeah, this stuff, if you felt it, it's kind of like cardboard until that steamer hits it. It's just so thick, or so old and crusty. Usually if I can get it close. And if you don't have a steamer, if you ever wanted to try to do this yourself, because you could do this with like an old house singer sewing machine. You don't need no fancy machine like mine. I mean, as long as you get a nice big needle for it and set it on the lengthiest thread length, so that means apart, which ain't going to be much on one of them, but even at the most on one of those works, because I've done it before. I'll have to cut that out somewhere. And get some good thread. And then as far as the steamer goes, you can use heat guns. You can use like your clothes steamer. One of those will work. Like I said, you don't need this expensive thing. This is one of those Jiffy steamers. They're pricey. I can't remember what I paid for this. I've had it for years, but it does not play. It does not play. In fact, while I still got it on, I'm doing another video on the food truck seat over there. I need to steam it a little bit. I'm gonna hit it off camera while this is going. Ooh!
Ouch, that hurts.
That does not play. Just trying to get into that. I usually turn them upside down and let them sit flat. Those will be ready. Yeah, usually the parts that have been in the curved part of the seat forever, those are the ones that take the most. Yeah, this whole thing, I didn't unglued it. I probably need to glue it with some of the upholstery glue. That'd probably be better. I think I just use the stuff in a can. That stuff is not the best, but I mean, if that's all you got, if you're ever trying to do like a seat for yourself or something, it works. Just keep this stuff away from it, like steam and stuff like that, because it separates it quick. You see this top, what it's doing. I don't think at the time I had any Landau. It's called Landau glue, the upholstery glue, the stuff that we use. I don't think I had any at the time. Me and my son-in-law put this stuff on. I think me and him did it, yeah. Because the old stuff was so cut on and glued. There was so much glue on it. That'll work on that one. Anyhow, I got about 3 or 4 more pieces to do in this. And then I'll bring you guys back when we're making patterns. That way we don't have to waste the camera or the SD card. All right, be back shortly. Okay, we're all steamed out. I found some black carbon fiber, real cool stuff. It's usually extra, but I'm gonna do them a solid. And what we'll do is we'll make all the tops where you sit at out of that, and then the sides will be out of the regular black stuff. I got some, I don't know if I'm gonna use this black, or I got some really smoother stuff, kind of like what was on it. This has got some good grain to it, but the other stuff's real smooth looking. It looks pretty cool. I don't know. I'm gonna see which ones I think look best together as far as black and black, you know. So, and then we'll decide. But I'm running out of time today, so we'll probably start doing this stuff tomorrow, and we'll get all of our patterns cut and get to sewing. Get this thing put back together and get it back to them. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and on that, we're gonna make the, I'm gonna make the top parts of the seat in the carbon fiber, and then the sides, like I said, we're gonna do in either the soft looking vinyl. I ain't decided which grain I'm gonna go with yet, but all we gotta do here is just lay these out, give them a trace. It's usually good to put like a weight on these, because it's formed over the years. It's formed that seat, and I'm sure when they put it on, they stretched it and heated it, you know, steamed it to fit it nice, which we'll do too. But as long as you get it close, you'll see what I mean when I'm sewing it. As long as you get it close, you can pull it and stretch it and do your thing with it. So now on these already have those little notches, so I'm just going to go around, put a quick, you can see that, like a little mark there, and then we'll click them all out. These are going to be our alignment marks when we match it with the other material. And that's what it looks like. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. The light's kind of bright. But there's one. Actually, I'll go ahead and draw these out and bring you guys back here in a few That way we're not wasting batteries and all that stuff. And then we'll get them cut out and stuff like that. But I just wanted to show you how I did that. So we steamed them. We brought them to this. Mark them with the chalk. You can do them on the backside too, but you have to just flip it the other way and mark it with a marker or something. But yeah, give me a few and I'll bring you back shortly. Okay, we got them all cut out. As you can see, I've been clicking away at it with these, how they, you know, where they meet at and stuff. But you got this is going to be our, that's going to be our where the tops of our seats are. So something like that, and then our outer parts are going to be with the other. That'll look pretty cool. Cool. I'm going to get the other stuff laid out and ready. I'm going to figure out which one I'm going to cut it in, and then I'll bring you guys back when we're getting some of it cut out. We'll do some on video, but not all. There's a bunch of pieces, so I'm not going to waste all that time. But I'll bring you guys back when I'm cutting that out. Okay, here's what I meant by, oh, by the way, I went with the smoother stuff. It just looks so much better with the carbon fiber. But here's what I was meaning. I forget when I said it. I don't know if it was in the food truck seat video or earlier in this video, but laying out all your stuff first. That way, you know, you can utilize it the best. Like, I'm only going to have a little bit over here. I hope you guys can see that. And this area here. But that, you know, like I said, some of these pieces you can keep, but then you get a pile of stuff that you're never going to use. So stuff like this I probably won't keep, but strips, wider stuff, yeah, I do keep them. But that's why I like to lay them out, and then I'll go around and try to use all the way to the edge as much as I can and try to get the best out of it. But same thing here. I'm going to just trace all this stuff out, and then I'll come back to you guys here in a few. That way, this is all pretty much just a waste of time if I sit here and do this. I mean, boring, you know what I mean? So I'll go through and get all these marked out and cut, and then I'll bring you guys back here in a few minutes. Okay, just about done cutting all these out. And then I get to go back and cut all the little clickies out of it, the lineup marks. So here's my pile of trash, or the leftover. And then here's all my cutouts. So now I'm going to go back through. I probably ought to use these less heavier on my hands. Now I'll go back, and what I'll do here is, I know I probably showed you before, but I'll bend it on the mark and cut it. And it gives me those are my lineup registration marks for the next piece. So I know as long as I hit those marks, I'm going to be within where I should be at. And then the rest can be done with stretching, the steamer. Basically, don't mess up. No, this stuff's pretty forgiving. So I mean, if you do miss one mark or from the pattern, like if I miss one drawing it out, I know I'll line up on the next one. You know what I mean? So it ain't like it's critical that you get every single one. Most of the time, I just try to make sure I get like my ends, the middles, because you know for sure you're going to have something there. But some people go way overboard. Like there's 3 right here. You know what I mean? I'll cut them and do it just because. But it's really, all you need is 1 or 2 there. You don't need that many there. I'm sure people think it's a huge purpose for it, but I've never gained from it. I mean, it's never helped me, to do it that way. So now I'm going to sit around and do this for a few. I'm sure you guys don't want to watch all this. And then I'll clean up all my chalk, and then we'll have all of those patterns. Then we can start sewing. So let me finish cutting all them little things out, and I'll be back real shortly. Okay, got all these wiped off, cut out, all the fun stuff. I got a big old pile of things down there that I got to clean up. So now the fun part begins. Now we get to figure out, I don't know why, I got this app on my phone, and when I go to connect it from my GoPro, it just keeps saying connection lost. Well, that's the only way I can zoom in, because I have a screen on top that I can watch to make sure everything's in picture. So now I don't know how I'm going to zoom in. All right, let me just get you closer here for now until I figure all this crap out. I keep having camera, speakers, all kind of dumb issues. Let's try to get this thing where, all right. So we'll go ahead and do, we know this one here goes over here because it's the slotted one. So that'll end up going through here. By the way, if you're wondering, just in case you're wondering, I wish you guys would say it down in the comments, but if you're wondering, well, I'll just fold it over for now. If you're wondering how long that just took, actually it goes, I believe this way, yeah. This way, and this one goes up here. Not that one, the other one. If you're wondering how long it took to just do all that, it is 4 o'clock right now, and I started about 5 after 3, and that's how long it just took me to trace these patterns out and cut them little registration marks out. So a good hour. I mean, this stuff is time consuming. You know, you have to keep in mind, you just can't zip through it, but anybody can do it. You know what I mean? You put your mind to it. So anyways, here's the fun part now. We get to figure out what goes where. You know, that one goes there. Now, looks like we need something. See, and here's what I was talking about, those, I think this goes back here. When you put too many of them things, your registration marks in, it's just overboard, and you just don't need that many of them. Yep, that goes there. All right, we know that's the back. And the front one, I think it's going to be this one. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, that's that one. And then these are going to get bottoms too, where it folds over. So let's go ahead and start sewing some stuff just while we got it, while we find them. That way, see if you guys can see here. All right. Oh, no, we can't do that yet. All right, I forgot. This guy wanted some extra foam on there. So what we're going to do, let me bring you guys back over here. We're going to take, sorry about this, back and forth, back and forth. Okay, we're going to take some sew foam. I'm just going to add a little bit of sew foam. Nothing spectacular. Just a little bit, give them some extra cushion for the rides. So we put this one here. And believe it or not, even this little bit here, he'll tell a difference. It's because it makes it like softer.
Oh, that's soft.
Gives it a little bit of pad, like a padding, like a cushion, if I'm saying it right. Some people will argue about the sew foam not doing too much, but I beg to differ. Oh, guess what? We got to cut the lock compressor on. Give me a second. Technically, we only needed it to do that. So anyways, spray both sides, let it tack up a minute, and then apply it. This is Landau, industrial strength stuff. This is for just this, basically this kind of stuff here. This is good stuff here. This is what the upholsterers use, like in the business. So if you're trying to do it with the spray cans from like AutoZone and all that, it's okay, but it's not okay. What I mean by that is it's okay for certain things. It's if you're trying to hold up a heavy headliner with it, don't do it, because as soon as you get heat, like the outside sun on your roof, it's gonna fall. It don't hold. This stuff here, it's like
They're bomb.com.
very, very good. I want to show you how I'm cutting this too real quick. I cut it at an angle because when you're putting two pieces together that have foam on both sides, it sews a lot easier and nicer. See how I kind of did that at an angle? Trying to give you the best view I can. That's at an angle. Anyways, that's for that reason. I'm going to cut those in a minute. Let's start sewing this. Try to get what we can going here. All right. So we know. Can you guys see? I hope so. So here's how this is going to go here. These marks, where was we at? Right here. All right. So we do know these two marks here and here line up with both of these here. All right. In the middle, there's, for some reason, I got an extra one over here, not there. That's what I was saying earlier. If that happens to you, don't worry about it. It's not the end of the world, because you'll see here in a minute what I'm talking about. So what I'll do is I'll line that first one up and I'll kind of walk it around here. You know what? I better see if, no, I think those top sew on each other. Yep. All right. So, because we're going to top stitch all this. Get my thread where I can get my material in here. All right. Same thing as we did before, about a 1/2 inch in. Lock stitch it and go with it. Basically, I'm just trying to hit all the little marks. And I'm just kind of going to pull on this top one and try to feed it around here. And now if you see one further than the other, either push that one back or pull this one forward. But just a little. You don't want to do too much, because, like I said before, it'll create a wrinkle in your finished thing. And sometimes I catch myself pulling on the bottom one too much when I shouldn't be, but it's just habit. See, now these are going to line up. See, I keep pulling that bottom too much. There we go. Now we're on. Eventually you'll catch up. But like I said, don't pull too much, because if you do, you're gonna have yourself a good little mess in the end. See, that even had two, and it shouldn't have been. I don't know why. All right. Now what we'll do is we'll top stitch this and clean it up, make it look good. You know, I think I'm gonna change my foot back over since I'm not using piping. It's gonna sew a lot easier for me. I'm gonna do that, and I'll bring you guys back. All right, we're gonna do some top stitching here. So I did have to. Let me actually try to get this down a little bit. Okay, what I'm doing here is. So I'm top stitching. I did have to sew this front one on before the back. So I just took some thread out of the back about this far, sewed that one on, and then I sewed that one back on top of that one. I had to get the old pattern out to check that. So, and that's something you can keep, you know, do use as a reference if you're having a hard time figure out what or how it went, you know. But I wanted to show you guys the top sewing here. Gotta be real careful. And I also changed my foot, a sewing foot, because I had a piping foot on it. You can sew with it, and I normally do, but when I'm doing a bunch of top stitching like this, I want to have a nice clean edge on my foot so I can see what I'm doing. That way it's all kind of even. You can see here, I'll walk it a little bit by hand. That way we can lift this up and turn this now. It's kind of probably hard to see from the way I have that camera, but at least you can watch it for a second, and then I'll show you what it looks like. I need to set up my other GoPro, like over there or on top of this machine or something. Let me get rid of, well, I can't do that because I want to show you guys what happens here, how we make this look like a endless thread. Okay. This is where some pulling or like some stretching, and it's actually kind of hard to get anything other than my hands in the view of this. Maybe we'll have to probably play with that one day, but I'm just trying to feed that easy. You want it to look all even and clean, just so it looks nice when you're done. Take your time, barely tap the pedal, go real slow, and you'll end up with a good, and you want to keep that pulled. You don't want to sew over it and it's too far one way or the other. You can see your thread line, like where it's sewed together at. This makes a huge difference if you get this right here. It's a little tedious, should I say? Yeah, and I'm using my edge on this other, on my left side of my foot to keep it against this edge, so I know right where I'm going, and try to keep it as clean and even as we can. Okay, now we walk it again by hand so I can lift while the needle's still down in there. We need to keep this thread over here because I'll show you why in a minute. This pedal is sometimes so trigger happy, if you want to call it. All right, so now I want to come into this right there. Our favorite fun. Get some extra thread, cut them back here. Okay, now what I want to do is, I've already got these two pulled out. So what I'm doing here, I just went over into the next one, and I'm going to pull it out of the bottom. All right, I'm going to pull this. I'll find which one it is. So I'm pulling them all out of the bottom. So that way up top here, you can't see where the thread starts or ends. And I'll show you when we're done here. So then I just take these two. I'll take those two there, and I'll tie them in a knot so you don't come apart on you a couple times. And one more for good sake. Okay, now I'll cut it. Then I'll take a lighter and I'll burn it a little bit, and I'll tap it. That way it's a solid to it. You know what I mean? It's burnt, nice, hard to it. So check this out now. We got a nice, I want you guys to see that. We got a nice top sew all the way around it. Once that's on the seat, that's going to look really sharp. Matter of fact, let's go over here and get our seat, see what it looks like on it a little bit. I mean, it's not going to look like it's going to look when we put it on and stretch it on, but you can get an idea. Once I stretch it, staple it, and then do some heating, some heating and pulling, and get that real nice and tight and get it all nice and down on there. That's going to look pretty cool. And you see what I meant by the carbon fiber. I hope the camera shows that carbon fiber with this smooth stuff versus the stuff that has the real heavy grain in it. I think that just looks so slick with it, you know what I mean? It just looks nice. And don't forget, we put that extra bit of that sew foam in there, so that's going to give them just a little bit more soft feel.
I can feel three kinds of softness.
Well, you know, it's not going to be like a super padded area, but it's going to give them a softer feel there. So yeah, once we pull and stretch and get all these nice and stapled on the plastic down there, and then steam it. That's going to look pretty cool. So we still have to sew our bottom stuff on. That's the lip that goes, sorry, that's the lip that goes over and that we staple with. So, all right. I'm running out of time today, but I wanted to get that far with it today. And tomorrow I'm off on my other job. So we'll get this thing buttoned up. He's going riding Saturday, the guy is. So we need to get it back to him. And then I'll bring you guys back tomorrow. Thanks again. Okay, I'm going to try to cut this little camera on here to get us a little bit of closer viewing. So what we got where we left off yesterday, we got all of our top sewing done. Now we got to sew this bottom pocket together. What we want to do is sew these up first. Try to keep our outside edges as straight as we can. All right, let's try this again. My thread came out. Get this side. Okay, and now we have that. And so, you know what? Let's just go ahead and do this for the heck of it. It'll just make it stronger at this point. We'll top stitch this too. It's on the bottom of the seat. You're never going to see it, but it will make it stronger when I'm stretching it on. I'm just going to continue this through. Okay, so now that's going to be a lot stronger. You know, when we pull on it, when we go stretching it. All right, now the fun part. Now it becomes, and wait till you see what I'm going to have left. That's going to be the only hole we have to stretch out on that seat. That's the real part. All right, let me figure out where I'm at here. That's the back, that's the front. So I think this goes like this. Let me make sure. I'm going to move this one. Hopefully that's okay. And make sure I don't want to start on this thing and have the wrong thing going on. That's the 3. Why don't I have them in there? Yeah, that goes like that. Okay, so that's the front. Oh, that's the back. I'm sorry. All right, so that's going to start back there. So according to that, this is our back. Why are these things, they cut weird on me. Let me get these lined up here. If that's that, that's that. That's a double. I think that's showing me up here. Okay, there's my double. There would be that one. There would be that one. That's just not in the right spot for some reason. There's that one, that one, that one, and then those doubles. Okay, I want to get this right because once we start sewing it, we're only going to... So if I start on this one, yeah, that's completely out of the way. Let's just start on this one. Okay. We'll go ahead and start on this one. This is like one of the hardest parts to do. Trying to get my thread back open. That's the only thing I don't like about continuing it out. Was that it? Yeah, okay. There's my double. The only problem, well, you know what? Let's start on these doubles here. That way we know for sure we're on the right track. All right. Finally. Here's where the pulling and stuff needs to be very careful with, because you can over pull the bottom like I almost just did there. You almost got to be very delicate with it. This is going to be a churn. See, that's what's messing me up, that I don't have my, for some reason this cuts over. It could have been where the material was overstretched. For whatever reason, you got to be careful with that. We're getting it. So far they're lining up. Probably ain't got nothing good on that camera. Slow, easy, and make sure your marks line up. So far we're doing good. That one's a little behind, but I think that's because of that back piece, but that's okay. Like I said, we're going to catch it right here. Right there we caught it. We're still in good shoes. And there's 2 of them. Catch these front ones real good. Don't over pull the bottom, Steve. Okay, I went ahead and did the bottom of the big seat already, where we put it together and top stitched it. You don't have to do everything on camera, right? Okay, now this one here is a little trickier. Let me grab the seat so we can see, because there's a pull through on it right here that goes in the middle. There's a pull through on it. I just got to make sure we hit the right ones. Okay, so those are our marks there. All right, so I'll start on this side right there. Let me get this one on. I want you guys to have some closer shots. Now, if that one don't die on us, right? All right. Okay, we'll start on this one. It's about right there. Okay, now this is the fun. Keep that on there. Keep our marks lined up. Some of these you got to pull the... Now here's the part where we got to kind of go curve around and catch our next one over here. Okay, we're going to hit that one good. Okay, I think we got it good. And there's this bad boy. And that's how it'll go right here. Basically, once we get her all stretched out and in place, and this thing goes through here, but it's kind of a pain in the butt. But all right, let me figure out these sides real quick. I'll bring you back here in a couple minutes. Okay. All right, we're gonna start on this side with this one. We're gonna try to hit this bad boy. Let's see, if I go like this, I'm trying to see where my top stitch is gonna end. So if I start it and come right into it, we can always see where our bottom sews on at and change that. Okay, let's get... Now on these where I sewed this together on the bottom, I'll open that up so I don't sew right over it, because if not, it may show a lump somewhere. So I usually open that. Try to keep it open as much as I can there. And then when we go top sewing it, it'll be, we don't want it too much material there. You know what I mean? To sew over. That's the whole thing with it. Drop that in there so we get our next mark lined up. There's that one. Yeah, basically this stuff here is just time consuming. Take your time. So slow. That sounds funny. So slow. So slow. See here again, I got cutouts in the top one, but none in the bottom. Okay, so our next one's way down here, but I got to try to... We're hitting it though. And I'm trying to leave enough there for the top sew, and we'll hit our last one here. So we're doing good. Actually, two of them. Yeah. Okay. All right, do our top stitch. Try to get a good start here. Okay. Now these are the even funner ones here because of the curves. You want to keep the curves pulled apart. If not, it will look very dumb. I think we're getting it good. There's one here that's wanting to try to just keep walking that easy. We don't want it to pinch or wrinkle. Sometimes my foot's heavy. I want to push the gas pedal. I just had another buddy stop by. He's got a Harley. He's wanting to do some work to his seat with some ostrich and some other stuff there. So maybe we'll have another cool video on his bike. To me, I like doing like the more exotic looking things. It's just more... Make sure you run out of thread. There's more to it. It just ain't a plain seat, you know. This just ain't all black or whatever color you do it in. Like this carbon fiber, I'm glad he decided to let me do that, just because it looks a lot nicer. Okay, and there's our nice side and top stitch on that one. It's looking pretty good. It's going to be a pretty nice seat, pretty cool seat. Okay, now the last fun part, guys. This one here. So I think this was the front. Let me see. Yep. Okay, this is the front. So that's going to start up here. Let's just try to start somewhere where we know. All right, we'll start on this double here, just like we did on that back one. Now I got it. Yeah, I did it again. I was just getting ready to say it. If you start funny with this machine, my console over there, it never does this. This FAF that the guy talked me into buying for this machine was, in case you guys want to know, this machine was with the table and the quiet motor. It's forget what they call these motors, whispers or something like that, where they don't run all the time until you push the gas pedal. But with the table, that motor, I think I got a couple extra feet or something like that with it. Nothing special. It was like $2,700 with freight. The freight was like $200, so $2,500. And my console, when I bought it, I think I paid $1,300 or $1,400 for it. And that thing, I think, is a better machine than this. People say, I guess it's preference. I was wanting to get a Juki for my second machine, and this guy was like, no, you want the FAF, it's the best in the market, and blah blah blah. And I was like, you sure? Because I'm hearing so many mixed reviews on the FAF. I don't know what the actual call name, I call it a FAF. So, but anyways, he was swearing up and down, I'm gonna love it. I mean, I do. I don't get me wrong, but I have like it just happened with the thread there. It does a weird thing to me. It'll like jam up on me for no reason. Then I gotta take my knee thing off down here, pull it out completely, and put it back. They call it the alignment, the transmission or whatever it is. It pops out of gear. It like jams up on me, and I don't do nothing different than I do than I ever have done. So I don't know. Just for that kind of money, and industrial sewing machines ain't cheap to begin with. Even $1,000 is a lot of money. But if you're going to do this kind of stuff, you're not going to do it with a little Walmart machine all the time. And that's just like if you want to do it at home, be it the hobbyist or whatever you want to call it, and sew you up a couple things. You can do it. It's doable for sure. Try to follow all these around here. These are all curves that are going to mean something somewhere. This is my favorite part here when you get down to the finish line, because then you're done hit your marks, and all you got to do is come across the stretch right here, go right over that old one, lock it, come off. I actually can't believe that little other camera's made it. All right, so we got both of our bottoms on. We're done with our covers. We got them all done. Now the fun part. I'm gonna kick the steamer on, get it warmed up, and we get to stretch these bad boys on the seats and get the stapling. Be back when the steamer's full throttle. All right, guys, the steamer's ready. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot a little bit of, see if I can get over here and get my gun. I'm gonna go ahead and glue this back on. Looks like they had a little glue on it too. I'm just gonna shoot a little bit on it. Sorry about that. Steamer's going so you can hear it. It is flowing like a river.
Like a river flow.
I'm try to get this. That way this plastic's, once you stretch it and staple it, ain't going nowhere anyways, but might as well glue it on there, I hate not fixing stuff like that, and then maybe it will move, maybe the cushion will move or something. All I had to do was do that to it to stop it from happening. Some people won't fool with it, you know what I mean? They'll just stick it on and be done with it. That's it. All right, good. Now, it ain't falling off no more. Okay, the fun part. I'd say, let's do I needed that air to glue that, so we don't need it no more. All right, let me see how I want to do this. Let me try this one. Now that one we're going to have to do a little weird. I may have to, we'll just try this. Let me try to steam this, get it soft for a minute.
That's so soft.
This thing is so hot. But before I got this thing, I was using a a clothes steamer or a heat gun or anything I could use really that would work. But when I got this, it was like night and day difference. I mean, it takes care of, it'll straighten out everything. As you can see, it's already making it smooth and straight. So you can imagine and then when it cools, it shrinks, so it tightens it up. So kind of doing two things. Let me get this bottom a little bit and these sides, just to give us some kind of a stretchy stretch. That thing's flowing, buddy. Fit this on here first. We're probably gonna have to adjust this out. Okay, now I gotta get this thing through. I may have to go get a little screwdriver or something to push that through with. Yeah, let me grab one. The original one, if you remember, didn't have foam on it. Get that through there. Like I said, we're probably gonna have to adjust on that too. You know what? I think we might have to do the back first. That may be the easiest. Did I pull that off? I don't think I did. Let me do it. Oh, that's right. We cut it off. I didn't remove it like this. That one we did, or maybe not. I can't remember. Like I said, this is the fun part here. Now let's get this steamed up some more. The key thing is here, you want this to stretch. You don't want your thread to rip. Even though it's strong thread, you can pull too much. So this is a steamer's a must, especially on something this tight, you know, of what you have to get it around. That one's going to be real fun. That's like doing a headrest. The headrests are super hard. Not hard, but you just, like I said, strong hands, steam, stretch, and pray that you got it hot enough to stretch around so you don't rip nothing. Even the material can rip if you pull too hard.
Rip it!
Or stretch too far. And a lot of times if it doesn't have a hard bottom, you can fold the foam up. Gives you some playroom. Get on there. Get on there. Like I said, this is the lesser, harder of the two. Boy, that's going to look good.
Looking good!
All right, so guess what? We do need the staple or the air back on again. I'm going to try to do it without it for a second until we run out of juice. I'm going to give that a little fold just to give us some extra. Sorry, I got in the way there. I'm just trying to. Okay, let me get started somewhere here. We want to try and keep our lines in the same areas. So let me go ahead and zap a couple of these. And we'll do this one. That at least gets us lined up where we need to be at. All right, it's time for the fun, the one I'm dreading. Let's keep our fingers crossed that it goes smooth. I'm gonna try to get this one to where it's just melting in my hands.
It's melting.
That way we know she's gonna stretch. Sometimes I don't know why they close in the bottom so much, but I mean, once you get it on though, it is nice because it's completely covered all the way down, but that one's not. You know, it's out to the edges and it's a lot easier to put on. So I don't really get why they do that, but that's just me being a whiner, I guess.
Quit whining.
Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the new subscribers. You know, I just want to thank all you guys for supporting the channel as much as you can and do. I really want this thing to grow. So I hope everybody's please liking and sharing and trying to get it out for me there. Be helpful. Like I said, once it grows enough to where I tried to do that little money thing, but there's just not enough people in there yet. But once we get to where it's a nice size where the views go quick, like as soon as I post something that gets a lot of views, that's when we'll do the money thing. And then I'll pick out, you know, we'll generate it with they got a little generator on the computer there on I think it's on YouTube. You just click computer generate and maybe we'll do the first 50 or 100 people and give away some cash and other stuff. Maybe I'll make some sweet shirts, whatever, make it fun. Like I said, you guys are supporting me and helping me out by sharing and liking and subscribing and all that. I'm definitely going to give back to you guys. So you're growing with me.
We will grow old together.
All right, let's try this. Like I said, I don't have no idea where to start with this, and I don't know if we should go like this first, like we did the other one, maybe. I don't know. Let's try it. Let's try to do that's the most covered, so I think that's this part here. Yeah, and that's why they put this on here too, by the way. I forgot to tell you guys that. It helps it slide more. And if I don't have that, I'll do it. Let me reheat it. If I don't have that, I'll do a trash bag or something like that, or saran wrap. Works really good. If you guys are trying to cover like your headrest or something in your car, just get you a trash bag, wrap it around it, saran wrap, any of that. Anything to help it slide easy. There we go. We want that stuff to... Whew, that is hot.
Oh, that's so hot!
Even this hose on this thing is so hot you can barely touch it. I kind of don't want it to cool on me, so I kind of want to try to get it going quick. All right, let's go. Get that front on there decent. Then we can start figuring out what to do here. Hopefully this goes good. All right, let's do some more heating. I think that's the key. If we can keep it, like I said earlier, stretchy. I mean, look at that other one. Can you guys see that over there? We'll look at them close again when we're done, but that thing's looking really, really nice, guys. That turned out sharp. That smooth grain with that carbon fiber, that looks really good. People told me to get, because like if you get a Corbin made seat, or there's a bunch of other ones, but they have little tags that they're embroidered tags that you could sew in. So when right on the edge there, it'll say, people say, you ought to get you some personalized tags for them. I say, yeah. Then I'm probably going to drag a bunch of too many people in here. I'm just by myself, you know. But to do this for the channel, you know, and pace myself with it, that's what I want to do. If I can get a video or two out a week. And I had a friend on the channel there state something about doing a cabinet resurfacing or refinishing. I think I'm going to do something like that in the future. My wife was wanting to redo our cabinets in the kitchen, and they sell a lot of kits. You could do it several different ways. There's videos, but we may do something like that. But just, you know what I mean, people make suggestions, and maybe we can make the video for you guys. Something you want to do at home on your own, you know what I mean? And you're wanting to see somebody else do it first, go through all the screw ups.
Guys, I messed up.
I'm your guy. I'll screw it up for you. All right, come on, guy, keep going. Whew, that is a tight one. Let's get that back. Get all that foam massaged in the right area.
We'll start with a nice scalp massage.
Our plastic must have moved on us, because that should have slipped right on there. But that's all right. We got it. We got it on there. Yeah, look at that. How much of you have nothing to work with. You know what I mean? It's just a little hole. All right, let's get her a little bit more warmed up. We'll get this one stapled up. We'll re-steam them all, clean them up, give him the call. Well, actually, he said he's off at 4. I guess they're all going riding tomorrow. Whew, this thing's giving me short breath. It's going right in my face. We need to work this some more here. There we go. And these are going to look sharp. I hope he likes them as much as I do. I know that don't matter how much I like them, right? Well, it does, but it don't. I got to make him happy. Hey, you guys, put that down in the comments there. Tell me what you think about these when we're all done. Be honest with me. Tell me if you would have done something different or... See, I like me personally, I like going, that's what I was just talking to my buddy about on his seat. I like doing like, maybe if there's a red in the bike or a green or something, put the color of the stitch, that color, you know, make it a little bit, so it's accenting, you know what I mean? So it's got an accent to it. The accent color's in there somewhere, and it's not too much, just a little to make it look good. It's not like you're overdoing anything. And that's just me, though. That's why I said, if you guys tell me what you think down in the comments, write down what you think. Okay, we got this one all zipped up on the bottom. Looking real nice, guys. I mean, this is looking really sharp. Please put it in the comments, even if you don't like it. It does help me on the channel. Really, it does. Even if you're just saying hi, just say hi, you know? I really appreciate it. It just does help the channel. Any comment, any like or dislike, I don't care. Whatever you guys think, just respond, please. It's very helpful. I forgot to cut that stupid compressor off. I hope it don't kick on. Matter of fact, let me cut it off. So yeah, I think they turned out super nice. I hope he enjoys them. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to see more of this, like I said, I got these buckets I'm going to be doing soon. Those are going to be pretty cool, pretty sharp. We're going to be doing some pleating the nose and some extra cool stuff there. Bike seats they're easy, but they're hard. I mean, when it gets into some of the parts of it, you know what I mean? The staple part sucks. The stretching back on is kind of crappy sometimes. These went pretty smooth for this round. I'm happy that it did, but it is what it is. It's the nature of what you're doing. You know, a couple of days in the sun and that thing will be so nice. That just helped it a bunch. I mean, you could sit here and steam it for forever, and you can feel it. Like right now it's soft, you know, it's soft, and then as it cools you could feel it tightening up, you know. And it'll help once people sit on this as it's hot. It'll help reform around all these crevices and foam and get back to its, you know, normal self of where it used to be at, you know. It's just so forgiving. any of the upholstery stuff when you I mean, you do have to get it right. You have to make it fit nice and tight and right. You don't want it too tight, because then it looks funny, but you want it to where it's back to looking normal, you know. This one, I think we're good. Let me get it back here across the back. There's a couple little wrinkles here, but oh no, I think we're good. I think he's in good shape. Just a little work there. All right, let me click this thing off. Wipe this off. Yep, that helped it. I got them out. Like I said, one day in the sun, and these things will be even better, you know. Like I said, tell me what you think, guys. Tell me how much you like these. And this one goes, I believe it's like that when it's on the bike. Something like this. Something like that. But yeah, let me get this back up here. Okay, so that wraps it up for this video, guys. Please like, share, subscribe. Tell me what you think down in the comments about these beautiful seats. I mean, they did turn out really nice. Let me give you some close-ups there. I mean, they are really sharp. Underneath, around, I mean, it all went together nicely. At least I think so. And I won't know how you guys feel until you jot it down in the comments. Quit being afraid. You text everybody on your phones all day. Text me. Put it down in the text. You know what I mean? Hey, what's up, dude? Your seats look cool. Your seats suck. Why didn't you do this? I don't care. Anything. Throw it down there. All right, guys, thank you so much. Like I said, thanks for the new subscribers. That is awesome. I mean, before I was waiting on 6. If you guys watched some back in the beginning videos, I was excited about 5 or 6 subscribers. It's up to like 170 something now. So it's going. It's going. I don't know how long everybody else's channels take, but I'm cool with it as long as it keeps growing. You know, I'm humble. I'm humble to you guys. I want to make these videos for you guys in the best way I can. And if there's people out there that do this for a living that know better ways that I'm doing it, jot it down there. Let me know what I'm doing wrong. Or maybe I'm doing something that's helping you guys out. Thanks, Steve. I never knew you could do it like that. You know what I mean? So thanks again, guys. Until the next one.